Well, we finally made it here, Teddy, after a little technical problems. But
But why don't you just apologize to everybody and let them know why we had all of the technical problems and why
I,
we're late? Why
and
don't you apologize and tell them exactly what you did?
actually, I will tell you exactly. I'm going to.
While we're doing this too, we had to switch things around a little bit because the program we used was forcing me to create another program, and it didn't like Teddy, so Teddy kept getting booted out. We had to go back to our old links that we used to use. But
Old school never fails.
That's right. Teddy, I saw something today. I want to see if this rings a bell with you. You ready?
Yeah.
There was somebody who once said, once again, you're dipping in the mustard and trying to catch up.
I said that one time.
You're damn right. Tell me about that comment and where did it come from and what made you say that?
I just thought it up.
That was great stuff. That's great, man.
Because at that time, nobody was writing anything, no writers or nothing, so you had to come off the cuff. So I just thought it up.
Hey,
Think about it. Dipping in the mustard, trying to catch up.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought when I read that, I was like, man, that's fantastic shit right there.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. By the way, those of you who are joining in right now, we appreciate you being in the room. If you have questions for Teddy or anything about the show or anything else about wrestling, just drop us a question in the comment section and we will pop you up on the screen and Teddy will answer those questions. And also, by the end of the show, which is only 30 minutes long, by the end of the show, Teddy will pick a winner of the best comment of the evening, and they'll get a free Road Trip After Hours t-shirt.
Not the best comment, the best question.
Oh, the best question. I'm sorry. God.
See what I'm saying? Saying?
Quit being so
ladies
picky.
and gentlemen, for those out there that really feel bad for me, I know there's some people that are really feeling bad for me. Thank you so much for your sympathy.
Absolutely. Hey, look here. I do want to bring up something that is serious and is great news. I want to get your thoughts on this. Lex Luger has been will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, Teddy. That is fantastic news, especially for Lex fans.
Yeah, well, you're exactly right. And I had the opportunity I've known Lex my whole entire career. So I had the opportunity today to text him and I was trying to get him to get with us today on the podcast here. But it's a last minute thing and I understand. But he was willing to do that, but he's had a cold. So he said he kind of lost his voice. But he's going to let me know when he gets cleared. And we're going to talk about that hopefully before he goes into the Hall of Fame. But congratulations to Lex Luger, a man that has certainly overcome and that was messed up out in the world for a while, but he found God, got God in his life, and he got himself straightened out. And I'm just so proud now to be associated with him.
When you worked with Lex, I said this on another show just the other day on Sports Kita, and Lex has admitted openly that he was an ass back then. He really was. But when you worked with him, Teddy, back in the WCW days, how was he for you to work with? Was he an ass to you as well? Or was he just, how was
it? We never did hang like that, for him to be an ass to me. I looked every time I met Lex. Lex always talked to me, spoke to me, even when I was refereeing. I never had not one problem out of Luger. He was always nice to me, but I did see him, snub a lot of people. Yeah. But like I said, man, I never had a problem with him.
All right. Somebody else going into the Hall of Fame. Let me bring this up as well. The natural disasters, John Cena. And it just drives me crazy. Fred Ottman. Uncle Fred, don't hate on me, but I just forget your name when I'm trying to do it off the cuff. But Fred has been a part of our show.
Put it down. That's all you got to do. Put it down.
Here it goes, right down.
Oh, no, that ain't it.
But Fred Ottman, who has joined us on the show here on Road Trip After Hours, is just a great guy. It's so good to see him get into the Hall of Fame, Teddy, as well.
Oh, yeah, man. Congratulations to both of those guys. Those are old school guys that I had the chance to work with. And certainly they've had two great careers. And thank God they're still alive and able to be here to accept that. So congratulations to those guys.
All right. Also want to talk about Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella is teasing a return to WWE. Teddy, does that excite you at all?
Well, that doesn't excite me. I mean, I'd like to see her return. She was a good worker when she was there. She learned a lot in a short time. She was very nice to work with. Had a great attitude. I mean, every time she saw me, she'd always run up, Teddy Long, Teddy, and me and her always spoke. And me and her were kind of like Trish Stratus. We were always good and nice to each other. So congratulations to Nikki Bella. If she's coming back, I can't wait to see her.
Yeah, and she still is in pretty good shape. She was in with the Royal Rumble, so it was something to see then, and it was a surprise return for Nikki. I thought maybe that'd be a one-off, but it appears that she may be coming back. So,
well, let's hope so.
Yeah,
let's hope so. She's made a name for herself. She's had a chance to get out there and do several things in Hollywood, man. So she'll be good.
All right, Teddy, you and I kind of went back and forth on this the other day on a different show. But I'm gonna say again that the buildup for WrestleMania is either super slow with only 6 weeks left, or they didn't know what to do after the big, fuss at the pay-per-view when John Cena turned heel. Here's the problem. I don't understand how you have such a big thing on a pay-per-view and you don't follow it up on any of your shows, not on Monday Night Raw, not on SmackDown. And yeah, we get a little bit of a promo out of Cody Rhodes, but basically that's all we've gotten. And even though I know you say we still have weeks to go, here's the problem. Now we're out of the country and the show is going to run at 3:00 in the afternoon. It's not going to be live. It's not going to have the same impact as we get closer to WrestleMania because the shows are now buried in the middle of the day while they're on this run. I don't understand why we haven't seen something from Rock or John Cena.
Well, like I said, we talked about this before. You're rushing it. Okay, I think this is the greatest thing in the world. Take your time. They turned him heel. Now you got suspense. People are wondering now what's next, and that's what you're doing. You don't know what's next, and that's what. Let them wait. Let them wait to see what's next. So I think it's great, man. Not to rush right into it, or either out of the blue they don't tell you something, and all of a sudden something does happen. So I think them taking their time with it, doing the right thing, because basically whenever he does show up on any TV or wherever, you're gonna find out exactly how they care about him now.
Yeah, and now John Cena will be on the Monday Night Raw coming up. I can't remember, they're in Belgium or somewhere, and he'll be there for that. But again, that's 3:00 in the afternoon.
So what?
I just feel like they missed opportunities in primetime programming on Netflix to continue the story with The Rock or John Cena's involvement in some fashion or another.
You just going too quick, Des. I'm telling you, slow down. Okay,
we'll
gonna
see.
happen, but the way that they're doing it is a good way. They're taking their time with it, because they may be right now working up something that's really going to be big whenever he does show. So I like I said, we have different opinions on things, but I think what they're doing is the right way to do it.
Hey, those of you who are watching right now, what do you think? Do we need to see The Rock and John Cena? Are you missing that on your TV? Or do you agree with Teddy? Do you think just take your time and let's see where it goes? Leave your comments in the comment section.
And I wanted to mention this too. You were saying something earlier. Golly, what did you say? Man, it'll come back to me. Because I was so thrown on it. I wanted to.
You need to put it. You need to put it down, Teddy. You need to put it.
I need to put it up.
True. Yeah. Joey 77 dropping in saying hello, Mac and Teddy. Hey,
hello, Joey 77.
And we do have some questions coming up. We'll answer the mailbag, and if you pop in here between now and then, we'll pop them on the screen as well. Misty McCrae also popping in saying spring break is next week. Man, that's hard to believe. And although, Teddy, in Georgia, where you and I are, they're calling for maybe some pretty bad severe weather over the weekend. I'm saying possibilities of tornadoes all up and down the state.
Well, they ain't gonna bother me because I don't care nothing about spring break. I'm gonna be breaking somewhere else.
Yeah, you be. All right. Now, talking about the whole John Cena heel turn, he joins The Rock, and everybody's kind of got a feeling that the two of them aren't just the only two, that there could be another member, a third member, kind of like we had when Hulk Hogan was announced as the third member. And names that have been thrown out there, I want to get your take on this, Teddy. The names that have been thrown out there as the third member include Seth Rollins or Rhea Ripley. What do you think?
That would be good. Seth, I love him to death. He's kind of like a heel in real life too. So,
Yep.
so it won't be hard for him. Rhea Ripley, what a sweetheart. And I just think that she could pull that off. And she's, to me, you know what I mean? To look at her and know her and to watch her, perform as a heel, that's going to be rough because she's so nice. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But
If I had a choice between the two, I would say Rhea Ripley would be the choice, more likely choice. And speaking of third members of a faction like that, let's talk about Hulk Hogan.
what are we talking about now?
He's on the wrong side of social media again, Teddy.
What's he done?
Oh, let me read this to you. This just came out on Sportskeeda this afternoon. I saw it. Actually, it was reported by News 12 that WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan left many fans upset during a meet and greet at a ShopRite in Montgomery. Fans were unhappy and didn't get to meet the Hulkster after waiting for the wrestling icon for hours, which made a lot of the kids cry. He just, from reports, he kind of showed up and he left after after just a short amount of time, even though they were promised they'd get autographs and pictures.
Well, think about him when he turned heel when at Bash at the Beach. Now go back to that and all that when the people threw beer cans and everything. They were really letting you know. Okay,
Yep.
So there you go, man.
Let me, Teddy. Here's a funny thing. Can you imagine? You have The Rock, you have John Cena. You're looking for that third member. Who was the third member of the NWO? Who is a true heel in real life right now? Hulk Hogan.
I'd bring him right in.
I think that would be something the fans would not expect. And that's just something, as we were talking, that kind of popped in my head. But what a cool angle that could be, because he was the third member of one of the most famous stables of recent memory, and to be the third member of this one as well. And what will most likely be a short-lived kind of storyline over next year. So it's not going to be like it's going to go on for years. So it doesn't matter his age. It matters because of the heat he brings, right?
Let me tell you something about this. Why you brought that age stuff up. All that age thing is that some people that use that for an excuse. They don't want you there no way. So then the next thing they do, well, why bring the guy back? He's too old. If you're able to perform your job, if you're able to talk or whatever, then you're not, people worried about numbers. Numbers are going to come. We can't stop that. So I'm just saying they just use that, another way of where they don't have to hire you.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great shot and a great way to kind of surprise people and actually shock them as to who that third person may be. Michael Steele popping in. Have to take your time. He's talking about the angle, like Teddy was saying earlier. Can't risk any kind of injury now that the heel turn has happened. I agree with that. You got to be careful on the injuries. But I do think it's not hard to pick up a phone and record yourself with the video. You've got Kevin Owens in his car.
It's old school. They ain't doing that.
Yeah, but even in old school, I mean, look, when the NWO got together, those guys, once they hit and everybody found out the third member, man, it was pedal to the metal and they didn't let up. In this case, it's completely opposite.
Well, that's good. That way now you can't figure it out.
And let's see, Joey77 saying Teddy and Mac, is Cena heel turn bigger than Hogan's heel turn? Teddy?
No.
I agree. Absolutely not. And here's the reason why I feel that way. Look at what happened in the ring after it happened. The disgust by the fans was real. Having not only just the guys in the ring getting bombarded by the trash, but Mean Gene Okerlund trying to handle an interview. And, people are throwing batteries and throwing full bottles of beer. I mean, it was dangerous out there. There was a big difference to me.
Right.
Let's see. We also have
Scott Gillespie.
Teddy, I'm froze up here for a minute. Are you there?
Well, Scott Gillespie has joined us, and he's saying that LA Knight should be the third member. He said he did the same hand gestures as The Rock did. So he's thinking it may be LA Knight as the third member. That's Scott Gillespie.
Got you. Thank you so much, Teddy. I got, for whatever reason, I got hung
I
up in
don't. You
here.
don't owe me no apology. Just keep on going. Let's go. Come on.
All right. Also, after that, we have Scott popping in again saying real American beer is pretty good. I'm not a big beer drinker, so I wouldn't know, but I'm willing to give it a try. If I see it, maybe at the Fan Fest.
Wow. Listen at that. How do you now? What a curveball. I'm not a big beer drinker, but I'm willing to try it.
Well, no, I mean, I'm willing to try the real American beer. I just don't, I prefer liquor over beer. I've never been a beer drinker. It just kind of makes me, and I know you were probably opposite.
Let me tell you a story about that. You sound just like Boogeyman. One night, me and Boogeyman, we was in the hotel in Seattle, I think it was. And so we had a 20, well, I bought a 12 pack. That's when I was drinking beer. I ain't had a beer in 15 years. Anyway, I bought a 12 pack. And so I looked at Boogie and I said to him, you cool and everything. So I got me a beer. So he's telling me now, looking at me, saying, well, I don't think I want to drink one tonight, but he's just popped the cap on it. But Boogie will tell you that story. He takes the cap and pop it, and he's saying, no, I don't think I want to drink one tonight. And next thing I know, he's drinking it.
Now, see, Michael Steele agrees with me. Liquor's quicker. Yeah, you get the plus beer makes my stomach feel like it's just like you're just swelling up. I hate that feeling.
But it'll bloat you now. It'll definitely bloat you.
Oh God, yes. Let's see. We do need to pop away here just for a quick second because it is getting time here, Teddy, for us to check inside the mailbag and see what questions we have from some of the listeners.
Letters, oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
Okay, Teddy, we have
All right.
Kendra in South Carolina is asking, who do you believe was or is the most overrated wrestler in your opinion?
Cena.
John Cena. Well, yeah, I think you and I might really agree when it comes to that. And that's no offense to John Cena. I know a lot of people love John. It's just that my taste and John's work is just not, it's just, they don't mesh together. And that's the same with a lot of people. We all have different flavors. All right, let's see. Nick in St. Pete. What irritates you the most about today's wrestling?
Well, nothing really irritates me. I see a lot of things. Like I said, I don't watch a whole lot, and so I see a few things. Like I said, I understand that times are different. Times have changed, and so you have to change with the times. So I've agreed to change with the times. I'm not like some of the other guys, the old schoolers, that just refuse to help somebody they don't like, then they don't want to use them and all that. All that old school shit. So my thing is this: I just, it's just hard to come in it.
All right. Let me kind of rework it then. How about this? What would you like to see added or paid more attention to in today's wrestling? Something that you would like to see personally. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, just something personally you'd like to see added.
It's really nothing I'd like to see.
Really?
Okay, man, I've been doing this. I've been in this over 40 years. I wouldn't say I've seen it all. Okay.
Yeah.
But golly, man, is this really nothing I'd really like to see? I think, like I said, to me, I think WWE is doing a great job. They're doing a lot of good stuff with a lot of good people. Like you said, they may, you may want to rush things, but they know what they're doing. They're taking their time because they have to change with the times too.
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't think there's nothing need to be changed in WWE. The other guys over there, I don't watch them.
Let's see. Tony in Tennessee. Oh, by the way, if you want to join in the conversation, you can. These letters are coming from us earlier in the week, so these are why I'm popping these out. If you'd like to join in on the show, all you have to do is leave a comment, and we'll take them and put them up on the line while we're still here. We still have about another 10 minutes to go before we run out of time. Tony in Tennessee, excuse me, did you ever witness any real backstage fights? And what was the worst one you may have seen?
The worst one I may have seen. Well, it wasn't really worse. Well, yeah, I forgot. I forgot about this one. This was well, the first one. This is old school. I remember one time I was refereeing. I was working with Steve, Dr. Death Williams, and Road Warrior Hawk. God
Yeah.
rest their souls. And so I think Hawk hit Doc real hard in the ring or something. Doing the mat. So Doc looks over at me and he says to me, he grabs me and he takes me and he puts me in the corner and he tells me, "You stay right there. Don't you move." The next thing I know is him and Hawk are just beating the hell out of each other, bro. I mean, real fight. I mean, unreal. Finally, they're gonna break that up. And so, we thinking that everything is good. You know what I mean? No. Soon as they got out of the ring, both of them went to this room and they found this. They went to the room and they saw that this room was open. They went in that room, both of them locked the door where nobody could get in, and they started beating the hell out of each other
Yep.
again. Now, the next one I saw was the match between Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul, and Kurt Angle. Something happened in the ring on the live TV, and they didn't do it out there. It almost happened, but they were professionals. They held back until they got back. When the match was over and they come through Gorilla, that's when they really had the real fight. They started fighting then.
Well, we just give a lot of people just break it up, or they just let them fight.
Well, no, they broke it up, but when two guys get to scuffling like that, man, you got to watch breaking it up, because you could get hit or hurt some kind of way. There goes, these guys ain't playing around.
Yeah, because way back when you like you said, two guys went into a room and you worked out your differences and you came back out. There was nobody suing anybody or anything else. It was men taking care of business and without having to involve anybody else. And nowadays it's completely different. Let's see. What else do we have? Samuel from X. Were you ever a boxing fan? And do you believe it's a work like wrestling?
In the beginning, I didn't think it was a work, but now I believe it's a work. And the reason I believe it's a work now, because they're looking at, why in the hell are we beating the hell out of each other when these guys over here in the wrestling, they're just, working, doing everything they can and still selling out arenas.
Yep. Yeah. There was a time when I used to watch boxing on, was it Saturday night fights or Tuesday night fights, whatever it was, on USA. And I used to watch that religiously. I loved watching it when it came on. But there became a show, and it was in New York, as best I can remember. And two guys were fighting, and the guy who was whose hand got raised at the end of the fight was not the one whose hand should have been raised at the end of the night. The fans came unglued. It reminded me of the time that Dusty Rhodes was being attacked in the steel cage, and everybody was trying to get to him in wrestling. And it seemed the same way when it came to boxing. And when I saw that, I was like, nah, this is just not the sport that I thought it was.
They're working it.
Yep. All right. We got time for one more here, especially, and I want to get to that in just a second. I do want to mention, Teddy, that you and I will be in St. Louis in May 16th and May 17th, along with Bill Apter. And for more information about that, watch this. And then when we come back, we're going to ask Teddy, name association. Hang tight.
SICW FanFest 3 is almost here. Meet your favorite wrestling superstars. May 16th and 17th, St. Louis. Get up close and personal with wrestling legend. SICW.org. Come on, do it right now. SICW.org. Don't wait. Make plans May 16th and 17th at the Hilton St. Louis Airport. SICW FanFest 3.
Going to be a lot of fun there, Teddy, in St. Louis. I'm looking forward to that. I know you are as well, and especially because you're getting a very special award that night.
Yeah, they thanks to Herb Simmons, Nick Ridnour, and everybody else that's associated with SICW. They're giving me the Lifetime Achievement Award, and I just want to thank them for everything. Thank you, Herb, Nick. Thank y'all very much.
All right, let's see what we got here. Scott Gillespie popping back in. Whatever happened with Lacey Von Erich buying SWE? Why did it go away? We fans never got an answer. You want to explain a little bit about that, Teddy, for those who don't know what SWE was?
Lacey Von Erich destroyed SWE. Okay, that's why they haven't told you about it. That was nothing. She ain't had no money to even buy SWE. What happened is the guy that was running SWE, he's older guy, so he's kind of in love with the younger girl. So Lacey was smart. She knew how to use what she had. So she come in and start flancing around and showing this and that. And the next thing I know, here comes Tom Lance, the guy that was running the thing. Lacey's going to be our brand new president. Uh, do you have a meeting? Do you sit down? Do you talk to the talent? Do you tell anybody what's going on? Just out of the blue, she's the president of the company. So, and it was, to me, it was certainly, just real disrespectful. So the night that was the night I walked out, and we're gonna get things going back there too. I want to let everybody know that too. I had a chance to talk to Randy Klein. He's the promoter there with Texas Style Wrestling. He was the one of the promoters of SWE. But Randy didn't worry about it. Randy put it in the hands of other people and thought that they were going to do the right thing. Well, they didn't do the right thing. They screwed up all the money. So but I think they're getting back on board now. They're going to, start. Well, they're running now in Texas, but I think they're going to get a big TV deal and they're going to, try to get this thing back to going. But Lacey Von Erich destroyed it. The night they said that she was the president, that's when I went to the locker room and I told them, I'm out. I'm done, guys. And several of the talent followed me.
And the sad thing is, Teddy, I was able to see several of those shows. I was there and did a little bit of work behind the scenes, and that company was absolutely incredible. It had a following. Unlike a lot of independents, this show was getting extremely hot. And then for everything just to go like that was really sad to see.
I went in there. When I went over there, they were drawing maybe 30 people, maybe 30 or 50 people. I stayed there for 3 months, in charge of creative and running the show. In 3 months' time, we were up to 1,500 people. Then we started really going after I put some stories in there. Then we started really going. We were selling out. One night we was in Canton, Texas. I never will forget it. We had to send out and buy chairs. We didn't even have enough chairs. I was sitting at my merch table, and I'm telling you, this would really, I pay attention to things. There was a guy walked up to me, and he says, Teddy Long, he says, I haven't been to wrestling in 20 years. He said, but I was watching you guys on TV there, and God, it looked so, I thought I better get out here and see it. Now, that's what a guy told. He ain't been out in 20 years, so he must have been doing something right. We got him out. But it's like some people, they can't stand success.
No, and it was unfortunate because, like I said, it was an extremely good promotion when I was there and visiting at the time. Bryce Bordeaux popping in. What's happening, Teddy and Mac? Hey, Bryce, good to hear from you. Teddy, did you ever receive the overtime for doing the voice readings for the JBL and Cole show? Also, what did you think of the whole JBL and Cody Rhodes duel?
Well, first of all, I didn't know anything about this JBL and Cole show or something. I never.
I'm not sure what that duel is either. And Bryce, you may have to kind of enlighten us a little bit if you're still in the room right now, because I'm not sure what that is. But did you ever get your overtime pay for the readings of the JBL and Cole show?
No, I don't even know anything about it.
He has no idea. I'm sorry, Bryce. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't. I know. Well, if they owe me, thanks a lot for letting me know, Bryce.
Scott Gillespie saying thanks for the explanation. There were some great shows with Teddy there. Really, when you got Teddy in there in the back and he's handling the storylines, you're going to get something interesting. Teddy, we're out of time here. Who do you want to choose this week for the Road Trip After Hours t-shirt?
Oh God, this is a hard one. I think the person that asked me about the whatever happened to SWE, and because they never got any answers, so I think I'll choose that one.
And that would be Mr. Scott Gillespie. And Scott, I actually know Scott. He's over in Texas, so I know that. Actually, that's where I met him. Actually, was at the.
I'm pretty sure I know who Scott is.
Yeah. So Scott, and watching tonight, everybody who's been with us, man, we certainly appreciate it. Let's see, we do have a couple more things. Let me see what we got. We got Zach Zmiz Burton. What is one of the aspects of today's wrestling that has improved since your time starting in the business, Teddy?
Well, I would say social media, the internet. That has really been the thing. That's really been a big improvement.
Do you think, though, that it also has harmed the business a little bit?
No, I don't think so. You know, you're gonna have your haters, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't, I think it's the best thing could have happened to the business. Now, you know, you can get yourself out there a little bit more. You know, people, you know, can get a chance to see you and know who you are.
Yeah.
And not have to just wait on Saturday nights to watch you on TV.
All right, Teddy. Anything coming up for you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I'm good, man. Everything's good with me. I'm just gonna be at home relaxing, me and Mr. Rufus, and that's about it.
I hear you. I'm not going to do much more either myself.
And see, and that's another thing, you know, like with the other company over there. See, they don't like me because I'm not calling begging for a job.
Hey,
Oh,
Teddy,
yeah.
I want to tell you something. Just real quick. I meant to tell you this on the phone before we even got on the show. I went out and I got some socks, just normal socks. I put them on my feet. And I'm not making this up. This is absolutely true. I looked down at the toes of the socks after I put them on, and I noticed that they had this weird looking thing on the toe. So I look at it closer, and I realize one is an L, the letter L, and the other one is the letter R. Left and right. Teddy, have you ever had to choose which sock was the left one and which one was the right one? Since when do we have to be told what sock goes on what foot?
Well, I think they helped you a lot. You really need that help. Okay, I think it's really good for you.
That just blew my mind. I'm thinking, what do these poor people do? They go out, and if they get their socks messed up, they'll put on two right feet. And then you're walking in a circle the rest of the day. That's all you get to do. So anyhow, it's just something I thought I saw when I put them on. I was like, that's just got to be the most asinine thing I've ever seen, to where you have to put left and right on a sock so you know what foot it goes on. Teddy and I will see you next week. Teddy, I've enjoyed.
All right.
See y'all.
Let's do this.